Before the horrors of the Holocaust, Jewish communities thrived across Europe for centuries. They were deeply integrated into the fabric of society, contributing significantly to various fields. Jewish intellectuals, artists, scientists, and entrepreneurs enriched European culture and progress. From the bustling streets of Warsaw to the intellectual hubs of Vienna and Berlin, Jewish life flourished. Synagogues stood as testaments to their faith, while Jewish businesses and cultural institutions dotted the landscape. Jewish families maintained rich traditions, passing down their heritage through generations. Education held paramount importance, fostering a vibrant intellectual life within these communities. Religious observance remained central, with synagogues serving as spiritual and social centers. The vibrancy of Jewish life, however, would soon be tragically cut short by the rise of a dark and hateful ideology. In the aftermath of World War I, Germany grappled with economic instability and social unrest. It was during this tumultuous period that the Nazi Party, led by Adolf Hitler, rose to prominence. At the heart of Nazi ideology lay a toxic blend of nationalism, racial purity, and anti-Semitism. Hitler blamed Jews for Germany's defeat in the war and its economic woes, exploiting existing prejudices to gain popular support. The Nazis propagated a distorted view of history, portraying Jews as a parasitic race that threatened the purity of the German nation. Their propaganda machine relentlessly disseminated anti-Semitic messages through newspapers, radio broadcasts, and films. This systematic campaign of hatred and fear-mongering poisoned the minds of millions, creating a climate of intolerance and violence against Jews. With the Nazi grip on power tightening, the persecution of Jews escalated dramatically. In 1935, the infamous Nuremberg laws were enacted, stripping Jews of their citizenship and fundamental rights. These laws classified individuals as Jewish based on their ancestry, regardless of their religious beliefs or self-identification. Overnight, Jews became second-class citizens, subject to discrimination and persecution. The Nuremberg laws were just the beginning of a systematic campaign to erase Jews from German society. Jews were banned from public service, professions, and educational institutions. Their businesses were boycotted and confiscated, depriving them of their livelihoods. This legal discrimination created a climate of fear and uncertainty, as Jews faced increasing isolation and brutality. As World War II erupted, the Nazi regime unleashed the full force of its genocidal plan against the Jews. Jews were forcibly removed from their homes and herded into overcrowded ghettos, walled-off areas designed to isolate and control them. These ghettos became places of unimaginable suffering, marked by starvation, disease, and constant terror. From the ghettos, Jews were transported in cattle cars to concentration camps, where they endured unimaginable horrors. Millions were systematically murdered in gas chambers, their bodies disposed of in mass graves. The Holocaust stands as a chilling testament to the depths of human cruelty and barbarity, a genocide that claimed the lives of 6 million Jews. Section 5. Sparks of Defiance, Acts of Jewish Resistance. Even in the face of unimaginable suffering and brutality, Jews resisted Nazi oppression in various ways. Armed resistance movements emerged in ghettos and forests, challenging the Nazi regime with whatever meager resources they could muster. These acts of defiance, though often met with swift and brutal reprisals, demonstrated the indomitable spirit of those fighting for their survival. Beyond armed resistance, Jews engaged in acts of spiritual resistance, clinging to their faith and cultural traditions. They continued to observe religious rituals in secret, finding solace and strength in their shared heritage. These acts of defiance, both physical and spiritual, serve as powerful reminders of the courage and resilience of the human spirit in the darkest of times. Section 6. Liberation and Loss, the Aftermath and Rebuilding. As Allied forces liberated the concentration camps, the world bore witness to the full horror of the Holocaust. Survivors emerged from the abyss, forever scarred by the trauma they had endured. The task of rebuilding their lives from the ashes was daunting, both physically and emotionally. Many faced the heartbreaking reality of returning to homes and communities that had been destroyed, their families decimated. Despite the unimaginable loss and trauma, Jewish communities began the arduous process of rebuilding their lives. They sought to reclaim their heritage, establish new communities, and honor the memory of those who had perished. The post-war period witnessed the establishment of the State of Israel, a testament to the enduring spirit of the Jewish people. Section 7. Remembering for the future. The importance of Holocaust remembrance. The Holocaust stands as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked hatred, prejudice, and indifference. Remembering this horrific chapter in human history is not merely an act of commemoration, but a moral imperative. By remembering the victims, honoring the survivors, and educating future generations, we strive to prevent such atrocities from ever happening again. Holocaust education plays a vital role in combating anti-Semitism, racism, and all forms of intolerance. It reminds us that words have consequences and that silence in the face of injustice is complicity. By learning from the past, we can create a more just and compassionate future for all. Section 8. A legacy of resilience, the enduring spirit of the Jewish people. The Holocaust attempted to eradicate the Jewish people, but it ultimately failed. The Jewish spirit, though tested in the fires of unimaginable suffering, emerged resilient. Jewish communities rebuilt their lives, carrying with them the memory of their lost loved ones and a deep commitment to preserving their heritage. The enduring spirit of the Jewish people serves as a beacon of hope and resilience. It reminds us that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit can overcome adversity. By remembering the past, fighting against injustice, and embracing our shared humanity, we can create a world where such atrocities are never repeated.